Happy Monday, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here on Wave Now. I'm Myra Ansari. I know that we have big hearts all across Wave Country, and that's why today is so important, because we are taking the time today and so honored to talk to First Lady Brittany Beshear today about something that she has taken on after our community has suffered such a tremendous loss. We're talking about the Eastern Kentucky floods that impacted so many in our community. Last year, First Lady Beshear kind of took it upon herself to start a toy drive to help children in our community to make the holidays a little bit easier for them, because some of them still don't have their homes. And she's doing that again this year. First Lady Brittany Beshear joins us now. And thank you so much for talking with us today.
It's my pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. So tell us about the toy drive. How are things going so far for you this year?
Well, as you know, last year with the devastating tornadoes in Western Kentucky, like so many people, I thought about what I could do to help. And so the idea of the toy drive was born, and it was a huge success. So a huge thank you to everybody who donated a toy or their time to make that Christmas a really special one for those families. And yeah, unfortunately, this summer, the flooding in Eastern Kentucky just devastated communities in a way that we have just never seen before. And even though it happened in the summer, those families are still hurting. So many families are still without permanent shelter. They lost everything. And so, once again, I am asking Kentuckians to open their hearts to those families who lost everything in those floods and help those children and those families have a magical Christmas. And just for that one moment, have the joy of seeing children across Eastern Kentucky have that magical present under the tree.
Last year, you were able to do this and present families with gifts and children with gifts. What was that like last year? And how do you hope to kind of make this year a little bit easier for them?
Well, I very strongly remember seeing families coming, and they looked, they were tired and stressed, and so many things that they just lost, and trying to comprehend it all. And then watching the joy on little kids' faces when they were pulling boxes twice their size around collecting toys. I mean, when else in any childhood is someone told, pick whatever you want, it's okay? And just the joy on those children's faces, and even some of the relief for those parents and caregivers who just for a second, everything was okay. It was a really strong moment, one that I will never forget. And I'm hoping to bring that kind of joy to the families in Eastern Kentucky who now need our help.
I think you nailed it when you say, to give the families and tell the children it's okay. That goes a long way for these families, that their lives have just been turned upside down, and they still are.
Yes, absolutely. Recovery is going to take years. And so, of course, the immediate aftermath of any massive tragedy like we've seen the last year with both the tornadoes and the flooding, that immediate aftermath, there's an outpouring of support and help. But it takes longer than those first few months. It's years. And Andy and I are committed to being with both Eastern and Western Kentucky until every last person has a permanent roof over their head and feels like their lives are getting back on track and back to normal. And I must say, the resiliency and the kindness that I've seen in both Western and Eastern Kentucky is absolutely amazing. Um, People are putting one foot in front of the other, but the kindness that I have seen from people who've had everything taken from them, and it really makes you stop and think about the true meaning of Christmas, and that is family, love, and giving something back to people who need a little help right now.
So how can folks help, First Lady? What can they do to help your mission out right now?
Thank you for asking that. So we have several options. The quickest or easiest, if you're on Amazon or you're in some place that it's easy to mail a toy, Jenny Wiley State Park is accepting mail-in donations, and the information for that mail address is on my website, firstlady.ky.gov/toy drive. Sorry, that was a mouthful.
That's okay.
And also, we've got several drop site locations, including the Bellarmine U of L basketball game this week. Both teams have just been phenomenal in saying that they would help gather toys for us. So if you bring a toy to the game, there will be a drop-off location site for you as well. And I also want to give a quick shout out to so many of our basketball teams around the state. I just met with KSU's team last Saturday. They had helped to collect toys. I know UK is doing something. We've had Murray State. And if I have forgotten one, I apologize. But the entire state has wrapped their arms around Eastern Kentucky. And I really want to say a big thank you to that.
And I want to give a quick shout out as well to one of our viewers who posted here. Wanda Monarch said, Baghdad Baptist Church is en route today to Eastern Kentucky elementary schools with 300 stuffed backpacks. Hearing that kindness just makes your heart warm.
It does. It shows that, at the end of the day, we are all human, and it doesn't matter your opinions, your thoughts, where you live, where you come from. Seeing people wrap their arms around others in need really, I think, speaks to not only our humanity, but to how Kentucky pulls together when a tragedy happens.
So First Lady, these need to be new unwrapped gifts. Is that correct?
Correct. And we are also collecting toys birth through 18 because children of all ages were affected. So I also want to stress that no toy or thought is too small or too big. Everything from a baby teething toy to a tablet, everything in between. You just know that those gifts are going to go to a child in Eastern Kentucky and really help to make their Christmas really special this year.
How do folks, like, if they're thinking, okay, I want to do something, I don't know what to get, I don't know what to do, I'm going to go to the store, and they probably feel overwhelmed right now. What do you suggest for folks to do? Is it just shop for, maybe think of your grandchild, think of your son or your daughter? Is that how you should proceed?
Absolutely. Like I said, every toy will be put in the hands of a child who is going to be so grateful for that toy. I will say I noticed stuffed animals went pretty quickly. Art supplies went really quickly. Board games. I'm trying to think. Matchbox cars were a big hit with some of our younger kids, and obviously those bigger items like tricycles, tablets, things for teens. I don't know anyone out there, my 12 and 13-year-old, the lists have started getting a lot shorter because the gifts are a lot more expensive. But
I feel you on that.
Any gift, any thought, like I said, for babies, teething toys, anything that makes noise for little ones is always a big hit. But just that you've thought and cared enough to go out and buy something, just know that it is greatly appreciated.
Do you know, as far as numbers, First Lady, just how many toys that you guys are hoping to gather, what the need is like for the community?
Sure. Well, I have heard the estimate is 5,700 children were directly affected by the flooding. So if you put that, kind of in the back of your mind as you're shopping, last year we had between 100 and 200,000 toys donated for Western Kentucky. And I realized that it was right before Christmas, so that changes things a little bit. But giving kids as many gifts as possible, like I said, no donation will go unused or unappreciated.
And just so I understand, First Lady, is this toys going to Eastern Kentucky flood victims? Is it also going to the tornado victims? How are we helping both of our communities?
Yes. Well, this toy drive is specifically for Eastern Kentucky. And we had so many toys in Western Kentucky last year that we actually did 3 days of Christmas in July, which was phenomenal. But this one is specifically for Eastern Kentucky. I'm sure there are some, I know there are some folks helping out with Western Kentucky this year. So if that's where your heart lies, I know that those gifts will be appreciated as well. So please just think of our kids on both ends of our Commonwealth and know that we just appreciate anything you were able to do for them.
Okay. First Lady, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you feel like our viewers would benefit from with the Eastern Kentucky Flood Victim Toy Drive this holiday season?
The deadline to mail in a toy or to bring a toy to a drop-off site is December 14th. But know that if something arrives late or you're a couple days late, we will still get it to those children in Eastern Kentucky.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing for our community. I know that our viewers are as well. In this stream, I've put a link where you can find locations and information about where you can drop off toys and that sort of thing. Again, First Lady, thank you so much for speaking with us today. I know that you're going to make a lot of families this time, just their hearts just a little happier this holiday season. And also, I know that when you give back, it makes you feel good as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you. I'm Myra Ansari here for Wave Now with First Lady Brittany Bashir. Have a wonderful day.
You too.